look, I could be a landscaper, and if I was the best landscaper in the world, someone would be like, but his dad's in KISS, so he was around plants growing up. And it's like,
he was around plants growing up.
It's so silly. You can't escape it, so you just got to do you. And I feel like for us, yeah, people are like, yeah, they want to get away from their dads. They're using Stanley Simmons. Like, it's on my birth certificate, man. What do you want me to do? Like,
I don't want to get away, and I don't want to use it. It's the least interesting thing about me. I don't think it makes me cooler or more worthy. I hope everybody treats me as harshly as they would any new band. I'm Nick Simmons.
I'm Evan Stanley.
And this is SoundAdvice.
Welcome to SoundAdvice, guys. It's so great to have you. So I know that you talked about kind of growing up like almost cousins.
Yeah, basically.
But you didn't start working together until recently. So what changed?
I lived in New York for a while, moved back here, and then we just started hanging more and seeing each other around more. And one day, I think you said, you're like, oh, we should do a video.
We both had
socials.
bands, right? So we both have, and still, you know, those guys are still kicking around and helping out with this project now. But we both had our own bands, which were drastically different. Like it wouldn't
different from each other and different from this. They're very
wouldn't even be found on the same playlist most likely. I mean, just drastically different. And we were just like, oh, you know, I bet if we do a Instagram reel together, that'll help juice, you know, whatever we're up to. That'll be fun, and it'll be just fun to do. So we're like, okay, let's on a goof, let's cover something acoustic, you know.
And to be fair, that's something we both grew up on. Like both of us love root stuff and really came up on a lot of kind of singer-songwriter acoustic type stuff where it's very song forward and harmony driven. And we figured let's do Simon & Garfunkel.
Because we were like, we never get to do that kind of thing. We never get to do the rootsier stuff. We both went a little more electric, I guess. So we were like, oh, this is a nice opportunity to do this stuff that we loved but never actually got a chance to play with. And then
people seem to care.
People seem to care a lot, which we did not expect. We thought like, oh, it'd be a fun goof.
The biggest thing though for us, I think, was listening back. It's like, wait, there's something special about the blend, because anyone who can sing usually can sing harmonies, but then you get this third voice kind of thing where you get two characters that come together, and when they kind of blend in a special way, you get a third voice that's
it doesn't sound anything like either one of us. It sounds like, you know, like it's a couple bands who have it. I mean, Queen has this because it's a 5-part, right?
Yeah.
But
like
it doesn't sound like any one of them. It just sounds like this new kind of mixed voice thing. So we were kind of surprised that we seemed to blend well. So we were like, oh, that sounds good. We should put that up.
Even at that point, though, it was like,
no,
maybe
we
should do a song or two together. You know, it's like maybe, and Nick texted me.
A one-off.
Yeah, it's like, I guess we have a folk side project. And it was like, haha, like, yeah. And then we tried writing together, and we wrote this song called Temporary Love that we both listened back to the next day and was like, well, wait a second. This is like the coolest song I've ever been involved in. This is something.
And I was like, yeah, me too. This is up there.
Real. We should write more.
But again, up until the 11th hour, it was like, all right, we'll put out a one-off couple songs for fun, and it'll juice whatever else we're up to. It'll be a nice little gimmick. And then we met this producer Rob Cavallo, who heard the demos and said, I want in. If this isn't your top priority, I don't want to do it. So it better be your top priority. You should drop whatever you're doing. And we said, oh, I didn't know it was like that. So okay.
I think at this point, though, it was a little further along in the sense that this all happened, by the way, over the course of like 4 or 5 days. Like February 3rd is when we wrote Temporary Love, and I think we were in Rob's kitchen like February 10th, maybe, talking about this.
He heard it and he was like, I want to meet. Like, let's talk.
But there definitely was a moment for both of us when we heard that song. I think you realize when you hit something and you hit certain intangibles that no matter how hard we've been trying in other situations, you can do something you love, and you might capture a little bit of something special here or there. But then you hear something back and you go, whoa, this is a different kind of thing.
And it came very easily. It was a surprising thing. It came very fast.
Both of our focus had, granted it had only been a couple of days, but it had kind of gone to like, maybe we should write another. We should do. And then Rob was like, go all in, and we were okay.
Rob basically, I mean, when I met Rob first, you met Rob before I did. And when I met him and you introduced me, I was kind of like, he kind of said like, listen, I know you guys are up to other things. I need to know how serious you are, because I don't want to waste my time. Like, are you doing this? And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah.
No, that was actually.
I was like, oh, okay. Yes. And that day I decided, okay, I guess this is my top priority. So.
And that was what? That was at the dining room table, like February.
Yeah,
10th,
he's like,
maybe,
I don't want to beat around the bush. Is this your top priority? I was like, it is as of today. Yeah.
Is it crazy that, you know, you grew up going to like family parties together and you both had your individual bands and knew that each other were, pursuing these, and then it was just so quickly that all of this.
We had no concept that it would be, we would even work together well at all. I mean, we had never tried. So we were like, oh, maybe it'll be fun one time, but who knows if we'll even gel. I mean, anyone who's been in creative rooms of any space knows that just because you like somebody doesn't mean
there's so many,
you have the same point of view or anything.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to it. It's, do you get on well? Do you write well together? Can you do it more than once? Do you guys have the same work ethic? Do you guys have the same aesthetic sense? Do you guys have the same outlook and the same goals in terms of commercial versus artistic? And then if you can check a couple of those boxes, you're lucky. And it seems like we kind of,
luckily,
the longer this has gone on, it's like we're pretty lockstep with it, pretty much everything, which has been great.
Yeah, and certain things that he's good at, I'm terrible at, and vice versa. So we were like, oh, thank God, someone to do that. I mean, that's I'm a guitarist with a lowercase g. Like, I can write a song and bring it to you, but you don't want me in your session. Like, I'm not I can't play. Like, anyone who plays guitar knows there are players and then there are players.
But he played guitar on the record.
I play guitar on the record, but like, it's crude at best. And he's like a session level player. So I was like, oh, thank God, I have a proper musician I can work with. That's nice.
Well, I think in so many ways, starting any sort of artistic project now is like kicking up water up a hill. It's impossible. It's like there's so much static out there and there's so much oversaturation. And one of the great things is, everyone can reach everyone, but it's also like everyone can reach everyone. So everyone's vying for that same very limited bandwidth. So you kind of have to juggle so many different things. And I'm so bad at so many of them, and so everyone is, and you have different weaknesses and strengths. And I think ours, both musically and administratively and everything else, luckily complement each other very well.
Yeah, we seem to fill the gaps where the other one falls short or is too lazy.
He built the whole website. It's crazy.
I was just about to ask.
I can't do any of that.
I'm a web designer. That's
I'm a vibe guy. I'm a vibe guy. I can't get any of that.
But I was gonna ask, what would you say each other's biggest strength has been so far on this creative duo?
I mean, the obvious is just say guitar, but it's a boring answer. So I want to say you're really good at just whatever's best for the task at hand, whether it's you or not. You do this well. Like, I think there's a very mature quality where you kind of go like.
But that goes both ways. I mean, I think both of us. No one has an ego here. We have the same. Goals.
The song is the goal, and whether my voice is the part that needs to be here, or his instrument, whatever's best for the song, we don't really care which one of us happens to be the right answer for a problem. So that's been nice because I've experienced the opposite. I'm sure you've experienced the opposite, where somebody wants to be, I want to make my stamp on this, whether or not it's the right move.
But it's such a ridiculous viewpoint. It's like you're on the same team.
You're trying to make this thing good.
If the team does well, you do well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, hey, if his song's going to buy me a house, let's do it.
He'll bring a song in and he'll be like, oh, maybe you can tweak this. And there's been a couple times where I've been like, no, that's done. Leave it alone. Like, I don't need to change a word and get a third. Like, just if it's good, leave it alone. Don't break. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I've seen that tendency in him, and it makes me want to be more that way because it's just makes everything.
But you're so that way. I've done the same
easier.
thing. It's like,
oh, come on.
No, we're very lucky. I think we both really balance each other well, and also for me working with Nick, especially starting out. Like, I started as a guitar player. And I got into singing because I wanted to write, but it's kind of hard to write if you don't sing. And Nick is like such a ridiculous singer. So I'm like, oh man, I'm still the second best singer in Stanley Simmons, but that's fine. Like,
it's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing.
But that's such a, people are like, you can't compare apples and oranges. Sure you can. Apples are way
right,
better. I like them more. Comparison done.
We're going off the rails here. You know what I mean? There's a stylistic difference. There's Jagger and there's Whitney Houston. I mean, how do you compare stylistically? Who's the better singer? It's not technically better, stylistically better. Who would you rather listen to? There's a lot of factors here. So, sure.
The only point is, he's a ridiculous singer. So
that's very nice.
And an amazing writer. So it's like, it definitely makes you up your game when there's someone else who you're partners with who's constantly sending stuff. He's like, I wrote this, look at this, check this out. And they're all great. And you're like, well, I don't want to be the weak link. So it definitely makes you push yourself harder. And I think it also helps you really hone in your own voice, because I shouldn't try and write a moody piano song. Why would I do that? He can write those so well. Mine's not going to be that good, and he already has a bunch. So I got to focus on what can I write that's a little more over here where he's writing this, and then when we come together.
I'll gas him up one more time. he's really fast. I'll give him that. Like for every 2 demos I finished, there's like 5 that came in my inbox that day. He's like an assembly line, so that's been nice. I've been like, wow, I got my pick.
None of them are good. But
I got my pick of the litter though. So I'm a slow little turtle, little precious, like making my little precious baby over here, and he's just like, you know, like dealing cards, and they're fully done songs. So I'm like, oh, this is nice. We're not hung out to dry every time we need another couple ideas.
That's one of the biggest things for me though, is like every day I feel pressure to get something done for sure. And you know, I know a lot of people who are really great musicians who kind of fell by the wayside over the years because they waited for inspiration and, you know, I gotta be an artiste. And like, I think that's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, it used to be that way.
Show up and play music and something will happen, or it won't, but it's definitely not gonna happen if you don't try. And
do anything.
you know, there are days though where just nothing comes out or something does and it's god awful and you feel horrible about yourself. But then it's great when Nick's like, yeah, but check this. I'm like, amazing, we do have a great song today. So it's like, it's really nice to not feel the pressure of I have to do something good all the time, because he's doing the exact same thing I'm doing at the same rate. He's working every single day. And there are tons of times, I mean, even on the way here, I was working on getting the master for the next single and I forgot to call one of the guys in the band to rehearse something. He's like, remember to call him and tell him these parts and this and that. Like even little managerial stuff we're both on. So it's like stuff doesn't really slip as much when you have 2 heads on it.
It's nice to, I think, what he just said. I don't have to actually say that again. Sweet. 2 heads better than one kind of thing.
When you guys decided that you were ready to do this, how did the name come about?
We both, again, like this happened so quick. So February 3rd, 2024 is when we wrote Temporary Love, and we were like a band.
Coming out pretty soon, I think.
I think that's the next, not the
third one.
The
the third one, yeah.
And I think we were like a band by like February 14th or something. So it all happened really fast, and we were never going to be like the Did It Is. Like that just seems super lame. And the whole thing had started so organically, and there wasn't really any trying. We were just like, here's the Venn diagram of what we both love. Here's the overlap. Let's do that. And we figured, well, like Crosby, Stills, and Nash used their names, and Simon and Garfunkel used their names, and
Hall & Oates.
You know, yeah, it's like so many.
Even Page, when he left Zeppelin, did Coverdale Page.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this is kind of like,
let's just do that.
That is what it is. It's less. This whole thing was supposed to be not a gimmick. It was supposed to just be a sort of us being kind of, here we are. Here's what we like without much affectation, hopefully. So that's,
fingers crossed.
We were like, so why as well just, and I didn't anticipate actually, these are our last names. So we were like, oh, Simon and Garfunkel did it, we can do it. And then, there's a couple comments of like, oh, they're leaning into the dads. And we're like, oh, I didn't even really think about that.
No,
it's my last name.
Well,
I wasn't trying to like whack that nail real hard on the head there. I was just trying to.
But that's one of the weird things is like, look, I could be a landscaper, and if I was the best landscaper in the world, someone would be like, but his dad's in Kiss, so he was around plants growing up. And it's like,
he was around plants growing up.
It's so silly. You can't escape it, so you just got to do you. And I feel like for us, yeah, people are like, yeah, they want to get away from their dads. They're using Stanley Simmons. Like, it's on my birth certificate, man. What do you want me to do? Like,
I don't want to get away, and I don't want to use it. It's the least interesting thing about me. I don't think it makes me cooler or more worthy. I hope everybody treats me as harshly as they would any new band. I don't really give a shit. I think. Sorry, are we swearing on this thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's. I don't think it makes anyone cooler or more deserving of attention than anybody else. I hope people react to the songs as the songs, and if they hate it, I hope they express that equally and harshly. I don't mind.
And trust me,
I welcome it. No, I welcome it. I think there's a lot of us who are tangentially related to show business, and the ones that stick around, like the Nicolas Cages and the Angelina Jolies of the world, are the ones who deliver good work at the end of the day. So that's really all I care about, is trying to make this thing any good at all. Well, that's the rest is not something I care about or think about at all.
All art is entirely based on the market, and if there's no demand, then it goes away.
It will die.
Yeah. People might listen to something the first time because of a name, for sure, but they're not going to listen the 10th time.
No.
And it's like they either connect with it or they don't. And I think at the end of the day, we're just trying to make music that we love. That's the word authentic.
Our lives are lovely because of it, and it's not something I can change. The only thing I can do is earn my luck in retrospect.
Yeah, 100%.
By working really hard.
Well, talking about the work, in 11 months, you guys recorded 41 songs with
Something like that, give or take.
Yeah. To be fair, we had 41 or 40, I think it was 43 or 41 songs in the running that were demoed out, that we were in the studio going, okay, which of these do we cut?
Which of these should
we
we
ended
finish?
up with 19 that are recorded, that are done, that you can like listen to, that are tracked. So we had
and we have
many
to cut
more.
a few.
Yeah. And the thing about making a record that's so cool is there's so much more at play than just, is the song good? So like there are songs that we didn't record that are great songs. It's just, well, we already have 2 of that type on the record. We don't need a third, so we're saving that for the next. We wanted to make something. Yeah, we wanted to make something that you could listen to cover to cover. That's like a journey, start to finish, and shows kind of all the different shades of Stanley Simmons.
And it's kind of a deliberate rejection of how everybody listens to records now, which is a lot of people do not listen cover to cover, and I like just ignoring that and just doing it anyway.
For sure.
Well, I'd love to talk about like that selection process that you guys went through.
We're still going through it.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it. It's tough.
Well, what are you guys thinking about when, especially like while you were going through the demos, like when to keep refining a song, stop refining it, scrap it, save it for another project? Like what factors
We
are
definitely have trouble acknowledging that we're done on stuff. Yeah. We could probably keep tweaking forever, and that's not a good idea.
I've gotten a lot less precious, I think. In terms of other projects, like to me, there are no other projects. Like there's one thing and this is everything. And if it doesn't fit this, I don't finish it. So like I can usually tell like by a verse or a verse and chorus, and I'll text Nick, and sometimes he's like, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah, I don't really get it. I'm like, cool, if you don't dig it, like scrap it. With maybe one exception where at first you're like, I'm not really hearing it. I'm like, well, listen to this song and this song. And you're like, oh, now I get kind of how you're hearing it. And then we finished it together, where it's like, I think it's more just what excites both of us and what connects with both of us and what really hits on all the stuff that we love. Like the one song that we were kind of missing on the record was, we both love Zeppelin, and especially Zeppelin 3, the more kind of acoustic side of Zeppelin, like Bronny R and all those. And we didn't have kind of a stomp song, and Nick brought one, and that's so sick. And that's what he ended up playing guitar on. But kind of just touching on all the touchstones along the way, the stuff that we really love. So that was a lot of the selection process. Is, are we missing something that's integral to our identity?
And Rob's great about that. Producer, manager, he just like leaves the session and immediately listens to the whole record in the car, and he goes like, do I want to? His whole ethos is, when I get to the end, do I want to start it over again? Is the point. And he goes like, right now it's too long, but anything that doesn't make him want to do it over again, he goes, that's probably the one to scratch. So we're still in that process right now where we have to take a few off the table. But I don't care. Whatever's good for the record. Could be all mine. I don't care. Whatever.
And by the end of it too, it's funny. I was listening to the record today, which is awesome. It feels so good to listen down to something and be like, man,
I would listen to this.
I'd be jealous. I'm like, what is this? But it's such a cool feeling. And by the time all is said and done, there are definitely a few songs that were like me by myself written. There are a few songs that were Nick by himself written. But most of the songs by the end, it's kind of, I brought something in, oh, we need a bridge, so Nick wrote one. Or
I'd say the vast majority are Frankenstein between us. It's the ones that people tend to gravitate the most are usually a combo, which is nice. I mean, we didn't, we're not forcing people to react that way, but it's nice that they have.
No, it's cool. It's like, and what feels really good too is there isn't one song where, I guess obviously you want that undeniable hit, but it's also a bummer when you find an artist, and I found plenty that I love.
Just the one.
And I'm like, this song's amazing. Let me get the record. And you get the record. And you're like, I shouldn't have gotten the record.
It's just the one. Yeah.
Yeah. And it feels really good when you play stuff for people. It seems like it's a pretty even
people have different favorites.
What the favorites are.
People have different favorites because they have different points of view. So we're trying to be eclectic, I think, deliberately, because we like a lot of different things. So there's up tempo, down tempo, slow, fast. We're trying to hit all of our interests with this thing. So anyway. Is this interesting at all to you? I'm boring myself.
We're fascinated. I want to talk about why Body Down was the first song you decided to release.
A few reasons. Like one was practical. We just didn't have as many songs then because we got in the studio. We were in the studio by, I think, March. And we started the project in like February. So it was like, all right, time to go.
That very first one we wrote was slow. So we were like, well, we don't want to open with a slow song. So we need something a little more up tempo than that to at least begin. So that was part of it. And
I think it captured a bit of everything where it's like, it's a lot of kind of driving worldly percussion. It's very harmony driven. Like, I think that's kind of the through line between all of our stuff. It's very harmony driven.
Yeah.
It has an electric solo, which is like, that's
acoustic,
kind of my second
electric,
voice.
organic, up tempo, mid tempo. It was a happy medium between, I think, the rest of the songs on the record. You'll hear ones that are way more frenetically energetic than that, and you'll hear ones that are way more moody than that. And that one was set kind of comfortably between them all. I think that was part of the reason.
And the practical side is it was done.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the earliest songs written. It was one of the first ones done. So when it came time to release something, it's like, cool, we have these other, at that point, I don't know, 10, 12 songs. We're like, we love these. It's like, yeah, well, none of them are done, so we can't put them out. Well, this one's done. Okay, we love this too. And it, I think, captures really who we are. But that being said, and I think most musicians probably feel this way, I love that song and I'm so proud of it. But man, I can't wait for you guys to hear all the rest of the stuff. I think we really leveled up because I think we really kind of found our vibe and workflow and kind of hit on how we write best together. So I love that song, but I cannot wait for the rest to come out.
Yeah. What I really liked that when you release the song on your Spotify channel, you also have like inspiration for that one song, and it's such an incredible playlist, by the way, just in itself.
Oh, thanks. I mean,
that's just the stuff we like. That's
Yeah.
like what
and
we
the stuff
listen to.
we were listening to when we wrote that. I mean, we like to, we're not shy. We'll wear influences on our sleeve. And I think some of my favorite artists wear their favorite artists on their sleeve.
Well, you
it's
should.
very easy to tell. I think it's not, we're not pretending we congealed out of a vacuum.
There is nothing worse than when someone's like, oh, you clearly like this band that you
like,
sound just like the guy. I've never listened to them. I'm like, yeah,
come
you
on,
have.
come
Like,
on.
just say you love them. It's
If
like,
the Beatles can admit they love Chuck Berry, you can admit that you like this guy and this guy.
if someone's like,
Pretty
you
clear.
like Fleetwood Mac and Alice in Chains and the Beatles and the Byrds, we go, yes, we
Absolutely.
love them. They are the greatest.
We
Like,
love that you can tell.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and the list is like so extensive and different, but then at the same time you go through it and you're like, oh, I understand. I can see these inspirations too because I listen to yours.
Tell me about the Justin Hawkins quote, because I think this really does.
Yeah,
this is kind of my Bible now going forward. But
Well, it's funny because I always heard, I think there was a Mayer quote, something similar, where he's like, you find your individuality through your failure to be multiple of your heroes. And Justin Hawkins, I think, said it even more succinctly. He's like, look, steal by all means, but steal from at least two places. And he made the point with the darkness. He goes, we stole from AC/DC and we stole from Queen. So we were totally ripping them both off,
But you become-
both of them. Where
you
it's like,
become
if
a
you only-
chimera, and that's something that is new.
Yeah, it's like you got to steal from multiple places, and I think that's hopefully what we do. Is we love Harry Styles, we love Steely Dan. I was listening to Norah Jones on the way over here, and then I'll probably listen to Green Day on the way back. It's like
it's all very deliberate, like osmosis with our heroes that we love. I mean, we know that that's what's happening here. I think it's silly to fight it because, again, some of my favorite artists in the world are derivative of two other artists that I also like.
For
I mean,
sure.
The Stones and the Beatles are the biggest examples of all time. I mean, you trace their influences back, you can actually find lines of lyric, and the way they pronounce words is deliberately like Little Richard and Chuck Berry and Muddy Waters. And it's like you kind of go, oh, these are just kids who are fans of music.
Yeah.
They're music fans, and they so love the thing that they wanted to do the thing. And I think the thing that saves you from becoming just a repeat is multiple sources. I want a little of this, I want a little of that, and that's a new stew.
What if Simon and Garfunkel listened to Slayer?
Or something. Yeah, well, that's, that's
But there's even a Clapton solo. I think it's on Disraeli Gears. It's literally just an Albert King solo, note for note, same phrasing, same everything. And when asked
in a psychedelic context.
yeah, he was just like, yeah, I like the solo, so I played it. It's like, okay, man, that's awesome.
He was a kid, he's trying to.
But he doesn't hide it. They're like, is that an Albert King solo? It's like, yes, it is note for note an Albert King solo. I
respect that in a way. I mean, there are, of course, when you get down to actual melodic imitation, there are legal issues, and those are all well and good.
When we say steal, we mean the vibe.
It's that
you don't
quote,
want to take an exact.
great artist steal or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you're talking about like the way, for example, Mick Jagger pronounces words, right? It was him essentially doing Southern blues voice because he's from England. He doesn't sound like that. He doesn't say like and Jay. Like that's not what he sounds like. He's doing an American accent because he used to worship American artists. And that became this new weird Mick Jagger accent that we all know and love and can't quite put your finger on because he'll never be an American guy. So that combined with his English roots and his other influences became this new thing. And we want to do that essentially with everything. Make a new stew out of really good ingredients.
I think the biggest thing, and Rob has been so, just important for this and such a ally in this is like, just have fun and do what you love. Where like for us, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. And if we come up with something new, that's awesome. But like, we're just trying to make music that we really like and listen to heroes.
Feel something.
And there have been so many times where I'm like, should I recut this so I could do it better? He's like, why? He's like, it
felt good.
It felt good. Just leave. It's like, okay. So I think we've both gotten way less precious. I mean, there are multiple, I can think of 3 songs where the lead vocals are just the scratch vocals. Where like a lot of times when you record, you'll do what's called a scratch, where it's like you just sing it once through, just so you know, like, let's not put a bunch of parts in that compete with the melody. And that's cellophane.
No, let's just use it. That's fine.
I think that's Love Real Slow, and that's a couple others.
My favorite quote is the Jimi Hendrix quote, where he goes, I think he's on Carson or something, and they're like, what do you say to people who say, like, you're the greatest guitarist? And he goes, that does not interest me, and that's distracting. What matters is whether I made you feel something or not. So you kind of go, you can play a guitar solo that's not even very good, but if it made you feel something, that is a successful guitar solo. So, and you can play a guitar solo that is incredibly complex and technically brilliant, but if it made you feel nothing, you have failed.
Well, technique isn't worth anything if you don't have perspective.
If you don't feel anything.
Technique should be a means to an end. Technique is just
It's a
your
tool.
ability to express what you're feeling through a specific medium. If all you have is technique, that drives me crazy.
Less than worthless. It's worthless.
Well, it's less. It's annoying. It's like but then you have those few guys who have insane technique and perspective, and that's like just unbeatable.
And those are all the great. I mean, all the greats are that. They've married technical mastery with that sort of non-mental, just gut. Like, does this make me feel something or not?
I think that's the biggest thing nowadays, especially with AI either helping or completely making things. The one thing it doesn't have and never will have is individual perspective, where it can be an amalgamation of many perspectives and kind of sort of do this or sort of do that, but it doesn't actually have a point of view. So I think now more than ever,
it doesn't feel strronely about the things that it ingests.
No, it's preserving your point of view and not losing track of what got you into music in the first place. It's funny.
Being a fan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's like I have a mini existential crisis every time this happens, and I say it happens once or twice a year. I'll see a guitar player that I really, really love, who really moves me in his playing. And I'll see him in like a small setting. We did with a player recently who I love. He's really a more blues-based guy. But we saw him at the Blue Note, and he was playing more jazz stuff. And he could really play all the like heady jazz stuff. And very, very impressive. I didn't feel anything, but very impressive. But then when he went back to the blues, I was like, oh. But then I go home and I'm like, man, maybe I should really practice my jazz chops, because like, he can do it, so can I. And then I'm like, why? I don't like it. I'm like, it doesn't move me. I find it boring. It's like,
there is this weird pressure from the sort of musician community to be able to look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, that kind of thing. And you kind of go, and that is only helpful if it is emotionally earned before that moment. And I mean, now, if you have earned that moment because everyone wants it real bad,
it's worth it.
It's great. If you just show that you can do it,
it's not.
It's worth less than not playing at all, in my opinion.
And to be very clear with this particular player, I love his playing.
He's a master, a true master.
Can. But that's not what moves me. And like I was saying, if technique is a means to an end, there's never a world where my trying to express myself to the fullest requires that sort of playing. I can play very, very fast, but that's not what it's all about. Like, playing a collection of wrong notes is not my goal.
Yeah, you'll hear it. I mean, that guitar solo in the song that's out, is Body Down, is not as fast or as complex as Evan can do it. It was just the right call for that moment in a song.
But that's what most solos, like, you should sing a solo back. You should be able, that's why I love
Clapton.
Age.
And,
you listen to Since I've Been Loving You, and it's so fiery, but when it's earned, and you can sing the entire thing. George Benson, talk about good jazz. That guy is like probably one of the most technically gifted guitar players on the planet. You can sing everything he plays. It's amazing. And that goes for every instrument. A great drum solo. Yeah. You should be able to sing. You sing when the levee breaks. You sing the intro when people go, what's the song? And it's like,
that
song, you're singing the drum song. You go, my
mom calls it "Look at Me, Look at Me," because she is like, you'll get humbled if you ever talk to a non-musician about this stuff, where you kind of go like, wasn't that amazing? They were like, there's a lot of notes, and she like doesn't care about guitar as sort of like her thing. So she's only really excited about guitar when she can hum it and feel something. So when someone just goes, she kind of goes, I'm gonna go get a drink. Like, it's really, you've lost her. That's a failure to me. I mean,
that's where it always worries me. Like, if you play a song for a friend and you're like, what do you think? They go, man, that snare sound is great. I'm like, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
We're in musician
it's
land.
like, they didn't hear the song. It's like,
Just be like, wow, I really felt, that made me feel really sad, or that made me feel really hyped. It's worth every musician, that's a cool ambiguity melody there, comment in the world. I mean, I'd rather have a kid go,
oh, for sure.
like that, instead of a jazz guy go, was that a sus 6, 9, 4, 12, 11, X9, 4T? It's like, I don't care.
That being said, I'm a gear nerd. Nick and I both nerd out on this stuff.
These are means to an end, like you said. I mean,
I'll spend literally days, and we have, there was one song where the solo sound, it just wasn't right. We spent 2 days dialing in the tone. Does anyone else care? Probably not, but we do. And it makes a difference to us.
Because at the end, you felt something.
But again, exactly, what the hope is when someone hears it, they feel the emotional intent.
When someone new finds Stanley Simmons, what do you want them to hear?
What song, or what do you want them to experience? I just want them to feel something, something strongly. Even if it's pure, unadulterated hatred, it's better than apathy.
It's funny, we joke about this, but it's true, because the internet is such a weird place, and we've spent so much time on it now. And we're so fortunate. We've had so many people.
99% really nice, actually.
And beyond really nice, just truly lovely. We've got messages from people who's, my husband passed away and he was listening to this song. It's so moving.
We've had 2 tattoos happen. 2 people got the logo tattooed.
Oh, wow.
At least, and sent it to us.
It's really incredible to see people connect with your music that way. And that's my biggest goal. Obviously, we have high aspirations. We want to play stadiums.
Everything.
We want multi-platinum plaques. But if I can write one person's favorite song ever, that's
bucket list.
We've done it.
Yeah. I always come back to this song. This one always reminds me. Literally, that person who said, my dad was passing, and she goes, this was our favorite song together. I go, that is worth every critic on earth. That is
the biggest.
What could be more important than that? That's somebody's favorite moment with the loved one. What are we doing this for?
There's nothing better than that.
If not that.
And at the same time, then we see people online who, to say hate us is that's the understatement of the century.
Part of it is where we come from. They're looking for a reason, but some of it is just. But it's really not their cup of tea.
But that's okay, because I would so much rather someone really hate us so much that they're thinking about us all the time, because clearly we've hit a nerve, we've moved them to feel something. Versus someone, what do you think? That's good. It's no. Don't.
Lukewarm is my nightmare. The opposite of love is not hate; it's apathy.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have people rage against us like we're Nickelback than ignore us.
Chad Kroger's crying in his private jet. So
right, somebody's buying those records. So yeah, you phonies. So that's the sort of manufactured meme of dunking on a band that's doing great.
Yeah, I don't. Also, when people are Nickelback sucks. I'm like, no, they don't.
Yeah, you're doing a bit. You bought the record. I know you did, because the numbers are there and they don't lie. Somebody in this room bought the record.
Also, I think it's very hard at some point. You can say it's not my thing. There are plenty of bands where I go, it's not really my thing. I can't argue it's not great. It sold 100 million copies. I'm like, you can't say that's not great. 100 million votes were cast with money.
If you're an adult at all, you can listen to a song and you go, all right, I don't usually like this kind of thing, so I don't like this, but they've done it well. Yeah. I go, I'm not. If you're not a horror movie fan, you know when a horror movie is good, even though if you don't like horror movie. What's the old quote? I think it was a Golden Age actor. It's you can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's always a guy who doesn't like peaches. Mm-hmm. Sort of does not negate the quality of the peach. It's just a categorical.
This goes back to apples and oranges. You can, in fact, compare them.
Everything I say will be about fruit today. And anyway, sorry.
I'm very excited after listening to Body Down.
Oh, thanks.
Hearing everything that's coming out, just seeing the inspo behind just one single, and hearing you guys talk about, no, absolutely not. Hearing just you guys talk about what you've been putting into this. I know you said Body Down kind of came out because it was first. Temporarily you're saving for third because you have other rollout plans. You obviously, grew up watching global band success. How are you thinking about your timeline and rollout for this project?
We want to be on tour mid-year. That's in the next few months.
We're dying to play live.
We're auditioning musicians this week. We have our drummer, and that's part of it.
But that dude's a lifer. He's great. He played on the whole record.
He can sing.
We sang for the first time. Us three, we sang because he was in my old band, and I knew he could sing great. But us three sang together for the first time
he nailed
this
it.
week, and within 3 times through a chorus, it was Wait.
All right, you're in.
Great.
Yeah,
It sounds awesome. And
So we have a couple friends coming in to see if they gel, and that's the plan. The next song is called "Dancing While the World Is Ending," which strikes many people as apropos of everything. And after that, we're trying to roll out faster because Body Down came out soon, and then we had to scramble to finish everything else. So we're trying to put songs out at a pretty fast pace after that.
it's also hard when we're writing so much. Like, I guess we gotta remind ourselves when I say something's old, it's like, oh God, it's 9 months old. Like, but it feels old to us because we're writing so much and we're
new to everybody
doing
else,
so much.
yeah.
It is new to everyone else, but I'm like, let's get stuff out. Like, we have so many songs we want people to hear.
We're having too much fun. We forget to release it.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably start releasing it. But yeah.
I feel like that's also when you know you've got some good that you're
Lucky that the
What
process
if
has been enjoyable.
What if this comes out and you're just like, I hate all this. This is
You're
not
like, wow,
good.
they really talked about how feeling something and yada
40
yada.
songs. I
This
could've written
record
100 like
blows. This record sucks. It's just poop to scoop the whole time. It's just
I hope not, but the first single definitely gives me hope. I will feel that.
all right. Yeah.
Well, thank you. We'll play the
The rest is mostly experimental jazz with no vocals.